It's so much more fun to put together an event like this that everybody wants to see. I can't tell you how exciting it's been for the last few weeks, just the buzz that we're feeling around us, the excitement level, the anticipation, you can feel it in the air. And I know November 8th is going to be a really special day. We've had a lot of special days at Boardwalk Hall. I do believe this fight really did belong there, and I am so grateful to the good people from New Jersey, beginning with Ken Conley from Caesars, all the way to all those people that asked.
I give all, most of the credit to at HBO for putting this together, along with my good friend Ken Hirschman. To call up to the podium for me has been always an honor after so many years working together, and that is my good friend, the Senior Vice President of Sports Operation and Pay-Per-View, Mark Tyler. Mark.
Always ready to the fired up, ready to find this personality, and that's what my career could build on.
What I am right now on TV is the most important.
This is just not a fight. This is an event, and I am glad that it's on HBO. I am glad that it's not on HBO pay-per-view, because yes, this type of fight could have easily been done on HBO pay-per-view, but you have to give credit to Bernard Hopkins, you have to give credit to Kovalev, who not only are they doing it for themselves, but they are doing it for the fans. That's really what it's all about. So now to introduce the fight.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I want to thank my promoter and all my team, my events, and Duva, my manager, Davis Klimos, Caesar Hotel, and also promoter Bernard Hopkins, and also Bernard Hopkins, because he's a legend in the boxing world, and also HBO. It's a huge and my favorite channel. So I want to say one thing. One day in Big Bear, when I trained there up the hill, I met first time with Oscar De La Hoya, and I was knocked at the door to sign me, the promotion company, and I asked Oscar, sign me, and I will make a big career, but he turned me down, and right now we're meeting in the ring, different side. And last, what I want to say, I'm a talker, I'm a fighter, and I'm sure that Bernard will do promotion and fight for both of us, and I want to say to everybody thank you, and watch HBO November 8th, and come to Hotel Caesar Hotel. Thank you very much.
Many dangerous fighters. And this event, another reason why I'm so proud to be part of it, is because we don't get to watch the Yankees versus the Mets. We don't get to watch the Islanders versus the Rangers, or the Giants versus the Jets every day. This is what we'll be witnessing, an event that doesn't happen very often. The two best guys in the light heavyweight division in one ring, November 8th. I can go on and on and on about the legacy of Bernard Hopkins. I can tell you from experience, he's good. He's really good. I can tell you the records he's shattered. Not probably, but being the best middleweight in the history of this sport. With 20 defenses, being a world champion for so long. And at 49 years old, at light heavyweight, he's still going, and still going strong. The unified champion out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Bernard the Alien Hopkins.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody that had a lot to do with putting this fight together in such a short time. Didn't take long at all. When fighters want to fight, that's what happens. When promoters want to do the fight, that's what happens. When managers, advisors, whatever title they want to wear to say that they who they are. You want to fight, you want to really do it, this is what happens. You get done. And Kathy Duva is a veteran in the game, just like myself, who managed myself since 1995. So I figure that my credentials is well respected, maybe not openly, but they are. I didn't thank the commissioner from Atlantic City, Mark Taffy from HBO, and also all the people that had a lot to do with it, even some of the writers who heard about this through a whisper or whatever, and then, piggyback and start writing it, and people start talking about it. So all these things really help. But at the end of the day, it was the two sides, main event, and of course, the company that I'm part of, and proud to be a part of, and that's Golden. Kovalev said something that is really true. It's really an innocent thing to say. Bernard's going to do all the talking to promote the fight. Ain't too much easy to say, but will say. Well, that's the difference between being multitasking. That means you can do more than one thing. And to be in position to, whether I come forward, whether I come sideways, whether I go back, or whether I do all the multiple styles that most of y'all witness in my 25 or 20. You get knowledge right now in this press conference. It ain't about hollering, screaming, and jumping up and all that other stuff. I've done that when I was younger and I was in. But that was the time for that. There's a season. We have those seasons. If you're the East Coast guy, you know about seasons or person. And there's a season in sports or athlete. The athlete's career, there's a season. I bloomed late. I didn't bloom by the timing of the experts that might even question their own expertise. See, when you write a book about Bernard Hopkins in your mind or in your literature that you write with your pen or your pad or your Instagram, whatever you do, social media, you're going to have, and I want to give as all I can, you the most difficult time to come up with a title to call me, other than amazing. Because after I whoop Kovalev systematically, I don't want to be on nobody's, it's not a disrespect to it, because I represent it and I still think it's useful. But I'm nobody's, I don't want to be on nobody's pound for pound list. You know why? Because that makes me human. I don't want to be on nobody's pound for pound list like I'm going to have a party. Like I'm going to remake the list. Don't y'all know I'm behind the list, but not beyond boxing? You would have to use your brain, because some haven't used it for a long time. Waiting on my demise. You come to a gunfight with one battle, you lose every time. You come to fight me. I'm not talking about anybody else you fought. Because you can put all those guys you fought. Great, fine. He's still a puncher. But you come to a gunfight with one bullet, and I got a Uzi. So you take that one shot. Cool. I'll be aware. But to me, when you talk about the things that become new than old, the only thing I can do is just say, listen, I told you who I am. Some still don't believe me. I have to prove it. But I got to move the fight because I'm trying to give y'all a chance to reconsider y'all stubbornness. To understand that the only thing I can do is show you. So for the questions that comes in the next weeks that we got to do our business come November 8th in Atlantic City, it should get old after a while when you see a guy that represents himself respectfully and there's no freak show going on, because y'all definitely been right about it. Right? Y'all had my head. Come on, let's keep it real. That's your job. I don't hate you for it. But enjoy a moment. Like some might like the Beatles, and some might wish they were still here if you listen to some of the music today. Or other groups. Just use me as that example. If you could turn back the clock and hear the things that you don't hear like you used to hear before, as they say, man, I remember to say, man, that was good music back then. See, some of the old heads in this room remember those language in the car when you say, man, I remember that was good music, man, back in the day. So enjoy while you can enjoy it now and see it. And so instead of worrying about when I'm going to leave, how long I'm going to do it, am I breaking down, am I eat some kind of cereal or something? No. See, y'all humans. Y'all humans. I understand y'all. Y'all don't understand me. And y'all should. Y'all should. I mean, I've been talking this language, Tom Hauser, and all the other faces I've seen for over 20 years. They can go back to their archives and they can tell you, well, you know, love them and hate them, but I was talking this 93, 2001, 98. I mean, this language hasn't stopped. This is nothing new. It's not a Monday morning quarterback thing where I'm successful 5 years ago and I'm starting talking about this old stuff that I talked about 15 years ago. When main events was, at that time, throwing back-to-back fights, I mean, come on. They was like rolling. So I'm glad to not only help a lot of people, but also help myself. I got